Reports one woman's extraordinary journey. It began on the streets of South Central Los Angeles and led all the way to one of the Bay Area's most prestigious law schools.
I'm what they call a trash can junkie. I do anything. I tooted heroin, smoked crack cocaine, I snorted powder cocaine, I've done PCP, angel dust, acid, pills, uppers, downers, methamphetamines, crystal.
Name the drug. She did it. Her name is Cupcake Brown, and her life has been anything but sweet. This tattered diary tracked the wasted years of life as a prostitute and gangbanger.
We went over Ricky's house and got bowed and shermed. Me, Ricky, Jackie, Egg, and Denise were standing in front of Ricky's when these 60s drove by. They waited 20 minutes, then came back and busted. Me and Ricky got shot. It was a f***ed up night.
That night was 2 bullets and 22 years ago when Cupcake was only 14 years old. And it was almost enough to get her to change her life.
The police that came to the scene didn't want to take me to the hospital because they said I'd be a dead nigga in a year. And it made me realize how insignificant my life was to society.
It took Brown another 11 years after the shooting to get herself together. She's now clean, sober, and a student. She's at the top of her class at USF and works as a clerk at a prestigious law firm while finishing her law degree. Do you sometimes look in the mirror and go, who are you? Where'd you come from?
Actually, quite often. I mean, I finished my second year of law school in the top 15, but my entire first year I was in the top 10. And it just blew me away because I thought it was dumb.
I just thought I'd stop by and see how you're doing.
Okay.
Not dumb, nor ashamed of her past,
Yes.
even though it can sometimes be an ever-present problem with some people.
A lot of times, they're okay with me until they find out who I used to be. Like, they find out, you know, they think, oh, Cupcake, she's so nice and she's so funny, and then they find out she used to be a crackhead, and they grab their purse. You know, she used to be a prostitute, and they grab their husband.
But those people are the exception, as there are many fans of the future lawyer. Linda Clarity is the assistant dean at USF's law school.
She's always so much fun when she comes in, and it has a very positive attitude, or I should say very positive impact on her classmates, on the faculty, just about on everyone and everything that she touches.
I've hitchhiked from Simi Valley to San Diego before and back. I mean, I was all over Southern California.
Brown's world now is far from the one that nearly killed her so many times, so many years ago. And even though the layers of that life continue to fall away, there will always be reminders of the past, enough of them to keep her looking ahead and looking after others.
I was talking to a high school once, and I thought I wasn't getting through to the kids. You know, they just seemed to be sleeping and nobody was paying attention. I thought, okay, maybe I'm too old. And I was leaving, and as I was leaving, one of the girls came outside, and she stopped me, and she just had tears in her eyes, and she said, you know, I want to thank you for sharing your story. And she said, I've had to turn a trick or two to feed my little brother and sister. And I thought I could never get over that. I thought I would be judged for that for the rest of my life. And she said, hearing your story let me know, okay, you did what you had to do. There's some other ways to do this. You're going to be okay. And it was just, I felt like it was God's way of telling me, you know what, even if you only touch one, you're doing what you're supposed to do. I just tell them, you know, I just tell them the truth.
And that truth has set Cupcake Brown free.
What a wonderful story.
Phenomenal.
Inspirational.
She really touched me.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Could ever imagine. Today, the story of a gang-banging drug abuser who struggled her way off the mean streets onto a law school campus. Also, who first conjured up the story of boy wizard Harry Potter? My guest today says J.K. Rowling stole her idea. Is there a magic formula to figuring out who owns intellectual property? And New York City tries to keep its law and order reputation intact after 2 young women are smashed over the head on the street in broad daylight. Did cops rush to judgment when they arrested their first suspect? Evidence could point to another guy. We'll investigate. I'm Catherine Cryer, and that's what's next.